Welcome to the Productivityist Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Vardy, and I've got another Meal planning is important because it prevents us from being a disappointed wreck when dinner time comes around and we have no clue what to make, or even if we have the ingredients to make the meal. It's a time and a money saver, but most importantly, it frees up valuable brain space. Creating a meal plan prepares us for the week to come and gives us peace of mind that we're organized and can feed ourselves and our family. That's why I do it, and that's why Plan to Eat helps me do it. Your subscription includes access to the Plan to Eat website and fully featured mobile apps on iOS and Android. And Plan to Eat gives you the tools to clip and organize recipes from any website, the ones your family loves and that fit your dietary preferences and needs. And you can create a meal plan around your schedule. Then what happens is the Plan to Eat software automatically creates an organized shopping list based on your plan. So sign up for your free trial at plantoeat.com/timecrafting. That's plantoeat.com/timecrafting. The coupon will be automatically applied to your account and can be used when you're ready to subscribe. It's valid for new customers only. Give Plan to Eat a try today. 3 more things episode for you for this episode. I'm talking to Benjamin Spall on this edition. Of course, you can listen to our initial conversation. There's a link to that in the show notes, but I wanted you to have the opportunity to listen to the 3 more things that Benjamin and I talked about. So without further ado, here are 3 more things with Benjamin Spall here on the Productivityist Podcast. Benjamin Spall is sticking around to talk about 3 more things, but we may only get to 2 of them because I'm going to ask him a big question right out of the gate. You ready for this, Benjamin?
I am ready. I'm a little nervous.
What's your morning routine?
Right, yeah, so I would say I'm not a morning person, I'm not an evening person, I'm not a late riser. I get up around 7:30 a.m., which, as we just discussed actually, is kind of the exact average of when many people get up. So yeah, I get up at around 7:30. And as I mentioned in the main episode, I try to keep my morning as calm as possible. So often I'll come straight into the kitchen while my wife gets herself ready. And I will kind of slowly make breakfast while reading or checking Instagram. But I make a point of not checking my email or anything like that. And yeah, basically we just try and have a nice calm breakfast and speak about calm things. We try not to talk about the news, because that's just a disaster. And yeah, it's just it's a nice way to really, sit down and connect with my wife. And, because some evenings we may be doing other things. So this may be the main time of the day we get together. Mm-hmm. And yeah, she's very influential on what we eat, I have to say. She gives, we take cod liver oil right now and all this crazy stuff that she puts in my breakfast. But I'll make the basics of the breakfast and then she'll add stuff to it. But yeah, it's basically the morning is as calm as possible.
Okay. Now my next question is, what does your evening routine look like?
Yeah, so yeah, again, I'd say it's, I'm very conscious because I fall asleep. So even though I don't get up particularly early, I still start to get tired pretty early in the evening. And my wife does not at all. She's very much a late riser. She would happily get up at 9 a.m. most days if she didn't, have to go to work. I'm often having to stay up longer than I would like to, just to, kind of have that little bit of time as well.
Right.
But one thing we do, and if people don't do this, they should, is just we don't have dimmer lights, so we just keep lamps on, and we try and keep the place as dark as possible, Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I try and get as much done, and unfortunately our kitchen doesn't have that, so I'm in the bright light of my kitchen, tidying everything up. But that's definitely, we have a question about this in the book, and something that came up time and time again with our interviewees, and I believe we actually write a short section on this, is the importance for many people of having a tidy home when you wake up.
Yeah.
And particular parts of your home are more important. The most important, I would say, is the kitchen.
Absolutely. That has to be like that throughout the day. I can't work I work from home. If the kitchen is messy, right. I can't do it.
I know. Like right now, I'd say the kitchen's pretty clean, but it's certainly if it's really messy, I'm just I can't, Mm-hmm. And it's definitely, almost a form of stress for me to have a messy kitchen as I go to bed. And it very rarely happens. And even though sleep is incredibly important to me, I will not sleep well if I have a very messy kitchen. So I just have to take that time,
So for me, at the end of the night, I will prepare. Now, it's funny because my kitchen, when I say messy, what I'll do is clean it up, and then I will get my coffee. I'll get everything ready so that when I show up in the morning, the only thing on the counter would be my AeroPress with my coffee and stuff like that. Because again, brain dead, totally brain dead.
No, that's nice. That honestly, that sounds very calming to me. I love the sound of that.
It's just great. Like, again, I wake up in the morning, I look down on I have my clothes neatly folded on the ground. I know those
Right.
are the clothes I'm going to wear. Um, how much of the time have you spent just looking at things like decision fatigue when it comes to routines? Because I know that plays a big role. So the third thing I want to talk about is in your own life, what have you noticed since establishing some pretty solid routines when it comes to decision making for yourself? And then in the book, when you're talking to different people, how has decision making been impacted by them having routines, especially morning routines that really work for them?
Yeah, so we write about we have like a little cutout about decision fatigue in the book, because we had a three-time U.S. Olympic gold medalist, Rebecca Soni. We had her interview, and she mentions it, and she mentions decision fatigue, which I was a little surprised about and a little happy about that. So we wrote about that, and I have to say, after doing the website for 5 years and working on this book for a year and a half at this point, I feel like, making less decisions in the morning is something that I've naturally been drawn towards. And like, for example, even though, I may have a small number, like for breakfast, I may have like two things to choose between. And to be honest, I could probably even pare that down. But yeah, I really do not make that many decisions, especially in the morning anymore. And I think, a reason for that is, like I mentioned earlier, is throughout your day, interviews, meetings, emails, you're making a lot of tiny decisions, many of them not as consequential as you think they are at the time. But that really affects your day. And I don't know what the research says about how many decisions you can effectively make a day. But we can continue to make decisions all day long, but they won't necessarily be the decisions that are in our best interest. And yeah, so that has come up time again in the book. And like we put this little cutout at one point in the book, but it's definitely mentioned throughout. And, we mentioned the obvious examples, wearing particular suits every day or wearing a uniform, so to speak. But it's definitely something that makes a big difference to your morning. And the less decisions you can make, the better.
Benjamin, this has been great. I want to thank you for sticking around to talk about 3 more things.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks very much, Mike.